Gentlemen, let me ask you something. How often do you compliment a woman thinking you're building attraction, but instead you feel her interest drop? It's not that compliments don't work. It's that most men are using the wrong ones, and the right ones are rarely spoken because they're forbidden. Today, I'll give you 3 of these forbidden compliments and 6 psychological principles behind why they work like magic on women. Let's begin. I love how feminine you are. It's rare to see that these days. This is not just a compliment, it's a mirror that reflects the part of her identity that often goes unnoticed, uncelebrated, and misunderstood in today's world. In an age where gender roles are constantly shifting, and where many women are encouraged to suppress their softness to survive in competitive environments, hearing a man acknowledge and appreciate her femininity is like water to a thirsty flower. You're not complimenting her body, her style, or her smile. You're recognizing the subtle essence she brings into a room. The way she moves, the way she listens, the way her presence softens the energy in the space around her. When you say this to her, you're telling her that you notice the little things, the grace in her silence, the warmth in her tone, the nurturing calm in her gaze. These are not things most men speak about, because most men don't have the emotional intelligence to even perceive them. And because of that, when you express it, she doesn't just feel flattered, she feels seen. And for a woman to feel seen by a man, not for her curves or her clothes, but for her inner softness, her quiet power, her natural receptiveness, is deeply intimate. You're also speaking to something she is secretly proud of, but maybe too humble or too conditioned to ever highlight on her own. You're giving her permission to embrace that femininity fully. You're giving her the space to be a woman in your presence, not a competitor, not a warrior, not someone who needs to prove herself, but simply a woman. And that makes her feel safe. That safety is what unlocks her softness even more. It allows her to relax, to lean into her feminine energy, to let go of the masculine armor she may carry all day in the workplace, in society, in public. This compliment also separates you from the rest. Most men are too afraid to even mention femininity, worried they might offend, or that they'll sound outdated. But when you, as a grounded and emotionally stable man, say it without flinching, it shows you're not afraid of polarity. You're not afraid to honor the natural dance between masculine and feminine. That's incredibly attractive, because it signals strength, confidence, and clarity in your own masculine identity. What's even more powerful is the unspoken message behind this compliment, that you, as a man, value traditional femininity not because it's convenient, but because it's beautiful. You're telling her, I see you, and I value what most people overlook. And that touches a nerve no physical praise ever could. She won't forget that. Not because it was flattering, but because it made her feel like a woman again, in the deepest sense. Not an object, not a role, not an idea, but an energy. A presence, a goddess. You have this calming energy. I feel more grounded around you. This isn't your average compliment, it's a psychological trigger that bypasses vanity and targets emotional intimacy. Something far deeper and more lasting than surface-level attraction. When you say this to a woman, you're doing more than just flattering her. You're offering her something incredibly rare, a reflection of the peace she brings into your life, which most men are either too emotionally unaware to notice or too insecure to express. Most compliments target beauty, physical assets, or superficial traits, the things she's used to hearing 100 times from random men in her DM or across the bar. But this hits differently. You're not praising her makeup, her outfit, or her appearance. You're highlighting something she probably doesn't even realize she's doing, and that's the magic. You're observing something subtle, something spiritual, something that lies beneath her exterior. You're telling her that her presence, not her words, not her actions, just her asterisk being asterisk, has a soothing effect on your internal state. That's a compliment that plants seeds in her heart and lingers in her mind long after the conversation ends. This line also works because it taps into a woman's deep biological and emotional wiring. At her core, a feminine woman wants to feel emotionally significant. She wants to feel like she affects you in a meaningful way, not through sex or appearance, but through essence. By saying she grounds you, you're telling her that she has the power to influence your emotional state, to bring clarity to your thoughts, to help you feel more centered in your masculine energy. That's huge. Why? Because most women are constantly giving energy emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, but rarely do they feel appreciated for it. You are validating her energy on a level most men never even think to access. There's also an element of maturity embedded in this compliment. You're signaling that you're not just looking for physical chemistry or shallow fun. You're letting her know that you value peace, depth, and alignment, and that she brings that into your life without even trying. That makes her feel wanted in a way that's different. Not lusted after, not objectified, but spiritually necessary. And once a woman feels that, a different level of connection opens up between you. She'll see you not just as a man, but as a man who sees her soul. On another level, this compliment is an emotional risk. You're opening up slightly, being vulnerable, admitting that she affects you, and yet you're doing it in a controlled, grounded way. That balance of vulnerability and strength is extremely attractive. It says, I'm in control of my emotions, but I'm not afraid to feel them. I know who I am, but I'm not scared to admit when someone else adds value to my world. That's rare. That's masculine emotional intelligence, and she will recognize it instantly. It also flips the script on traditional gender dynamics. Instead of you chasing her, trying to impress her, trying to earn her validation, you're calmly observing her impact on you, and then articulating it without neediness. That changes the dynamic. Suddenly, she feels drawn to you. She wants to keep offering you that grounding energy because she now realizes you can receive it, appreciate it, and reflect it back. Most men just take, but you receive consciously, and that's a trait of a hive. You man. And perhaps the most underestimated power of this compliment is how it makes her reflect on herself. If she wasn't aware of her calming energy before, she now begins to see herself differently. She starts to view herself as someone who brings peace, not just beauty. She starts to embody that identity more consciously, and she associates that awakening with you. That's how you embed yourself into her psyche. That's how you become the man she feels emotionally connected to on a level no one else has reached. You seem like the kind of woman who could ruin a man's life, but in the best way. This is not a compliment. This is a calculated strike at her emotional core. It's a fusion of danger, seduction, curiosity, and challenge all in one sentence. When you say this, you're not just flattering her, you're igniting a fire in her that most men are too afraid to touch. You're walking a tightrope between admiration and warning, and that's what makes this line feel so thrilling. You're telling her that she possesses a power that could unravel even the most composed man, and yet, instead of retreating from it, you're drawn toward it. That alone sets you apart from the sea of men who fear a woman's emotional depth, who back away when they sense complexity, who can't handle a woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to stir the waters. This line works because it taps directly into the duality of feminine psychology. Most women want to feel powerful, but not in the way men do. Not through domination or control, but through emotional influence, through being unforgettable, through possessing that magnetic chaos that lingers in a man's mind long after she's left the room, by saying she could ruin your life. You're feeding that fantasy the idea that she's not just desirable, she's dangerous, but then you flip it, you say, in the best way, and that's the hook. You're not afraid of her fire. In fact, you want it, you welcome it. You're telling her that her intensity doesn't scare you, it excites you. That's not just attractive, that's intoxicating. Most women walk through life with men either trying to tame them, control them, or avoid getting burned by them. But when you deliver this line, you're not trying to tame her, you're respecting her wildness. You're acknowledging that she's not ordinary, that there's something in her energy, her presence, her aura that is inherently disruptive, but in a way that adds color, flavor, meaning to a man's world. You're elevating her from a pretty face to a force of nature. And every woman, deep down, wants to be seen not just as beautiful, but as powerful. You're also introducing a subtle frame here, the idea that you are a man who has something to lose. That your life is so structured, so put together, so calculated, that her very presence could throw it into chaos, and you're still considering letting it happen. That sends a very strong message. You're not a boy playing games. You're a man with purpose, with stability, with control. And only a woman with exceptional energy could even begin to disrupt that. You're creating a power dynamic where she's intrigued not because you're needy or obsessed, but because you're challenged and you're not afraid to admit it. There's also deep flirtation hidden in this compliment. You're inviting her into a playful space, one that teases consequences without blame. You're saying, I know what you're capable of. I see through your beauty, your smile, your softness. I know there's fire under the surface, and I'm not only aware of it, I respect it. I'm drawn to it. This taps into her subconscious desire to be recognized as more than sweet, more than kind, more than pretty. You're reflecting her dark feminine the part of her that wants to feel like she could shake a man's world just by being herself. And finally, what makes this line so forbidden is that it's bold, it's honest, it carries sexual tension without being vulgar. It hints at emotional surrender, psychological chaos, and romantic destruction, but it does so with elegance and control. You're planting a seed in her mind. What would it be like to be that woman to this man? And that seed, once planted, grows. It builds a narrative in her imagination, a fantasy, a curiosity. She starts to wonder what kind of man can handle a woman who could ruin him. And the only possible answer is The power of mystery is one of the most underestimated elements in male-female attraction, yet it is the foundation of what makes a woman intrigued, engaged, and emotionally invested in a man. When you use these forbidden compliments that sound nothing like typical praise, and that leave space for interpretation, you're not just giving her words. You're creating a psychological puzzle she becomes compelled to solve. You're inviting her into a world where nothing is completely revealed, but everything feels significant, and that, right there, is the reason mystery is magnetic. Women, unlike men, are far more emotionally driven when it comes to connection and desire. They crave stories, subtext, and emotional nuance. They're biologically wired to look beyond the obvious, to read between the lines, to sense what's not being said as much as what is. So when a man compliments her in a way that sounds like a riddle, a line that hints at something deeper, but doesn't give it all away, her mind starts racing. She wonders, what does he really mean by that? Why did he choose those words? What is he seeing in me that others don't? The very act of questioning creates investment. And once a woman is emotionally invested in the mystery of you, she's already halfway drawn to you. These types of compliments work because they feel like coded language, not just flattery. When you say something like "you have this calming energy," or "you could ruin a man's life in the best way," you're not just complimenting her, you're forcing her to reflect on herself. You're pushing her to interpret your words, to analyze what kind of woman she must be to receive such a unique observation. That's not just validation, that's psychological engagement. You're giving her something to replay in her mind long after the interaction has ended. And the more she thinks about what you said, the more she thinks about you. This kind of mystery is powerful because it implies that you see layers, that you're not the average guy who reacts to obvious things, you observe what others miss. You notice details in her essence, her presence, her impact on energy, that makes her feel like she's being truly seen but not fully figured out. It creates an emotional paradox. She feels recognized, yet still desires to reveal more of herself to you. That's exactly where you want her: curious, slightly off balance, and deeply intrigued. Another reason the power of mystery is so effective is that it subtly shifts the power dynamic. Most men chase women by giving everything up front, showing all their cards, revealing too much too soon, over-complimenting, and emotionally overextending. But when you hold back just enough, when your words are laced with deeper meaning but delivered with control, you send the message that you're not trying to impress her. Instead, you're inviting her into your frame, your world, your depth. And that, psychologically, is incredibly attractive because it makes her feel like the prize, but also like she has to earn access to your inner world. The mystery is also not just in the words themselves, it's in the tone, the timing, the delivery. It's how you look at her when you say it. It's the calm, unbothered energy behind your compliment. It's the slight pause after you drop the line, letting her sit with it, process it, absorb it. You're not waiting for her approval or a reaction. That calm confidence, combined with the subtle intrigue of your words, creates a powerful cocktail of curiosity and desire. She starts to feel like she's in the presence of a man who knows more than he says, feels more than he reveals, and values connection that goes beyond surface-level validation. And perhaps most importantly, mystery creates space. Space for her to imagine, to fantasize, to build her own narrative about you. And in that space, she fills in the blanks with the most compelling story her mind can create. She starts wondering what else you might think about her, what deeper things you've observed but haven't said, what kind of man you must be to speak this way. That story, that unknown, that tension, it becomes the bridge between a casual interaction and a deeply emotional attachment. Because at the end of the day, what's rare is valuable, And a man who keeps a woman guessing not through manipulation, but through intentional depth becomes a man she can't stop thinking about. Status signaling is not just about showing off wealth, looks, or material success. It's about subtly communicating your internal value, your mindset, your self-perception, and your social awareness without ever needing to brag or seek validation. When you deliver forbidden compliments like the ones we're exploring, you're not just making her feel good, you're also sending silent signals about who you are as a man. These compliments are laced with deeper messages that speak volumes about your emotional intelligence, your experience with women, and your position in the social hierarchy, even if you're saying very little on the surface. Let's unpack what's really happening when you give a woman a compliment like you have this calming energy, or you seem like the kind of woman who could ruin a man's life, but in the best way. First of all, these lines are bold asterisk. They're not safe or rehearsed. Most men don't have the confidence to say something so nuanced, so layered, because they fear rejection, awkwardness, or coming off too strong. So when you say it, and you say it calmly authentically and without hesitation what you're communicating beneath the surface is this. I'm not here trying to win you over. I already see myself as high value. I already know who I am, and I'm comfortable enough to say something others wouldn't dare. That's status, not the kind you wear on your wrist, but the kind you carry in your spirit. When a man operates from a place of self-worth, he's not emotionally affected by how a woman reacts to his compliment. He's not waiting for her to smile, to blush, or to validate him in return. He gives the compliment like a man gives a gift he doesn't need to get back, and that calm detachment is intoxicating. It shows that you are in abundance not scarcity, that you're not hinging your self-esteem on how she receives your words. Most men are trying to get something with their compliments: attention, favor, attraction. But you're observing, you're making statements, not questions. You're expressing an insight, not requesting a reaction. That's high-status behavior. There's another layer to this. The man who gives these kinds of compliments has clearly had experience with women. He's seen different personalities. He's observed the difference between surface attraction and deeper presence. When you compliment a woman's essence, her energy, her mystery, her emotional influence, you're revealing that you're not some rookie who gets overwhelmed by looks. You're someone who has been around beauty long enough to no longer be stunned by it. You're now interested in something beyond that communicates social proof without needing to name, drop, flaunt, or prove anything. It says, I've known many women, I've seen what's out there, but this thing I see in that's rare. That's a subtle flex, the kind that doesn't push but pulls. Women can feel when a man isn't trying to prove himself. They can feel when a man is rooted in his own power, and it's that feeling that sense of internal groundedness that sends chills through them. You can't fake it. And the kind of man who gives these compliments believably is someone who's emotionally composed, who knows how to lead, and who doesn't crumble under feminine energy no matter how intense it gets. Status signaling also shows up in how you deliver the compliment. Your tone, your eye contact, your body language, your pause afterward, these all contribute. A man who fidgets, who nervously smiles, who laughs to soften the blow, that's a man seeking approval. But a man who lets the words hang in the air without flinching, without chasing the moment, he's speaking from a place of power. The silence after the compliment asterisk is asterisk the status. It says, I said what I said, and I don't need to explain it. That's dominance without aggression, confidence without cockiness, and finally, there's the status of asterisk selective attention asterisk. When you give a compliment like this, you're showing that you don't give compliments easily. You don't throw around validation like confetti. You're asterisk choosing asterisk to speak up because you see something rare, and your decision to verbalize it makes it mean more. It makes asterisk you asterisk mean more. You're essentially telling her, you caught the attention of a man who doesn't get impressed easily. Take that in. And she asterisk will asterisk. She'll feel it, and she'll remember it, because compliments from high status men don't fade. They asterisk mark asterisk. Forbidden confidence is not loud. It doesn't need to raise its voice, flex its muscles, or declare its dominance. It's the kind of confidence that whispers but is felt like a roar. When you deliver forbidden compliments, the kind that walk the line between poetic and provocative, you're not just speaking to a woman. You're demonstrating who you are. These compliments aren't just risky because of the words themselves. They're risky because of the asterisk psychological territory asterisk they touch. Most men avoid this territory because it makes them feel exposed. It demands emotional clarity, self-control, and a deep-rooted sense of masculine identity. That's what makes this confidence so rare and so irresistible. Let's break down what makes this kind of confidence forbidden. First, it's not needy. You're not saying things to get a reaction. You're not fishing for her to laugh, blush, or tell you she likes you back. You're saying what you feel, what you observe, what you sense without apology, and without any need for return. That alone flips the entire dynamic, because while most men seek approval through compliments, a man with forbidden confidence asterisk offers asterisk approval like a king bestowing recognition. He knows his value. He knows his presence. He's not trying to convince her he's enough. He's showing her that she's interesting asterisk enough asterisk to catch asterisk his asterisk attention. That subtle reversal creates massive attraction because it implies authority, discernment, and power. Second, forbidden confidence carries risk, not external risk, but asterisk emotional asterisk risk. Saying to a woman, you seem like the kind of woman who could ruin a man's life in the best way, isn't just flirtatious. It's dangerous. You're admitting she has emotional power. You're acknowledging that she could asterisk affect asterisk you, not because you're weak, but because you're open. You're open to life, to sensation, to connection. You're strong enough to feel something and not hide it. That kind of vulnerability, when delivered with masculine groundedness, is rare. Most men either hide their emotions or drown in them, but forbidden confidence lives in the middle, exposed but unshaken. Third, this confidence is selective. You don't give these compliments to every woman. That would dilute their power. A man with forbidden confidence knows how to recognize rarity and only speaks on it when it's truly felt. That makes your words asterisk valuable asterisk. That makes asterisk you asterisk valuable. She won't just hear your compliment, she'll know it costs something to say, not because you were scared, but because you don't waste your attention. You don't hand it out like candy, you invest it where it matters. That's a masculine trait that commands deep respect. Fourth, forbidden confidence is calm. There's no rush, no urgency, no jittery eagerness to fill silence. You say what you say and let it land, And that pause, that calm, controlled moment after your words, that's where the real impact happens. She has to sit with what you said. She has to feel it. You're not trying to fill the space. You're letting the energy do the work. You're comfortable in the silence because you know that real power doesn't need noise. It needs presence, and presence is your domain. Fifth, forbidden confidence doesn't backtrack. You don't say something bold and then try to soften it with nervous laughter or disclaimers. You don't say, "I mean that in a good way," or "just kidding." No, you own it fully. You drop the line and leave it on the table like a glass of fine whiskey, confident it will be savored, not spilled. That ownership makes her trust you, because if you can handle your own truth, maybe you can handle hers. Maybe you're the man she doesn't have to dilute herself around. That's rare, and it creates emotional safety in the most unexpected way. Lastly, forbidden confidence comes from internal freedom. You're not shackled by the fear of judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. You say what most men think but are too afraid to express. And because you do it with elegance, not arrogance, it strikes her like a chord. She may not even understand why she's drawn to you, but deep down she knows this is a man who doesn't flinch. This is a man who can hold space for depth, fire, chaos, and emotion. A man who can truly see her, and still stand tall. That's not just confidence. That's forbidden, and that's unforgettable. So, understand this, the compliments that truly captivate a woman aren't the ones she's heard 1,000 times. They're the ones that make her feel something she can't explain. They awaken her curiosity, they make her feel seen, and they remind her of her power. But more than that, they reveal your power, your depth, your fearlessness, your ability to say what other men won't dare whisper. These forbidden compliments aren't just words, they're emotional triggers. They make her wonder who you are, how you see the world, and why she suddenly feels so drawn to you. So don't waste your time with safe, forgettable praise. Speak with intention, speak with presence. Speak like a man who knows his worth, and watch how she starts seeing hers through your eyes. Because the truth is, when you stop seeking approval and start speaking from grounded confidence, you don't just attract women. You haunt them.